Hello there. I was able to get my hands on a few samples of Roja Dove's latest creations, the Tutti Frutti line. God, that's a dumb name. I'll be honest, when I first heard it, I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was serious. Can't get that Little Richard song out of my head whenever I hear it. You know, I'm not gonna start singing it, but naming aside, and the juices aren't much better in the naming department. Naming aside, those of you who follow my channel, and I'm sure many of you out there, are a little bit wary of the oud trend lately. It's gone on a little bit too long. However, I think these three really were able to find a segment of the oud market that had not been tapped. Fruit, candy, gourmand. It's not something that there is quite a lot of out there. So from what I can tell, and I have not smelled these at all, I came home from work and the samples were in my mailbox, and that's the first that I've had. So I have not smelled these, but it on paper and what I can read, it would seem that these are something new to the oud genre. So we'll see. There's three of them here. There is the candy oud, the fruity oud, and the sweetie oud. Really just terrible names. Terrible names. But take it for what it's worth. So we'll start with the candy oud. Candy is the pink one. Has the pink bottle and everything. Let's get a spray on there. Now, notes for this. Bergamot, grapefruit, apple, banana, blackcurrant, pear, rose, and a whole crap ton of base notes. If you go on his website, which is what I'm reading off of right now, the base notes for all three of these scents are fairly similar. So I'm not going to read those. You can look at it if you want. There's like 15 of them. But they're generally more darker notes. That's where the oud is listed. The types of things you would, if you've smelled Roja Dove's juice, it uses a lot of them. So, candy. It starts out very fruity sweet, in a good way. There's this candy note in there that's trying to poke its head through, it feels like. And I wish it did more, because it smells good. It's a very well-balanced, sweet candy note. It's not overbearing. It's not too strong or too sweet, or it would seem not too cloying. Not like something you'd find in a, it's a really bad comparison in terms of juice quality, but like a Yop Home, or maybe something like a 1 Million, which are good in their own right, but they can, the sweetness in them can be too much. Get that like really overdose of sugar. It's not the case here. There's some darkness to it, some dark woods, certainly the oud. It's not very heavy on it. It's not, if you want a wallop of oud, this is probably not it. I don't think any of these really, my guess would be that if you're the kind of person who really likes a strong, bold oud, probably not going to find it here. It's not the, it doesn't seem like that's the thrust of what he's going for. This one's not bad. I would hope that if I put this, if you wore this on your skin, that candiness would come out a little more. There isn't if you go through the list of notes, there isn't something that screams candy, but the way he's blended them together, there's something that really wants to come out and give it its name, give it its candied name. But not bad. Could be pretty good. Next one will be Fruity Oud. can't get over how dumb these names are. Fruity, which is it? That's... There we go. Alright, top notes for this guy are going to be Artemisia, bergamot, grapefruit, blackcurrant, orange blossom, raspberry, rose, strawberry, and purple. That's what it says, that the last note is just purple. Alright, whatever that is. Well, that's fruity. Well, it certainly lives up to its name. There's fruit, a little bit of floral, very light. The raspberry and strawberry and blackcurrant are the three, would seem to be the three main players here. It's a nicely done fruit. It's not, it doesn't have that kind of artificial fruit juice flavor to it. Like it would seem, I would equate it to drinking very freshly squeezed fruit juice, where you get that very pungent flavor. Same kind of thing here with these notes that he uses. It's very well done. It's very, very good. I don't get a lot of oud to it, or that similar kind of darkness that was in the candy. Seems like there's just a lot of fruitiness. And that's kind of about it. I mean, it's nice for what it is, but I don't know that for what he charges, I'm not sure that this one lives up to it. I don't know. It's okay, maybe. Give it another wear. I don't know. Last one is Sweetie Oud. Sweetie Oud. This was the one I was actually looking forward to the most. It is supposedly a use of gourmand notes. I don't know if he created or uses a pastry accord. Obviously something that's synthetic. That was created to evoke the smell of rich pastries or a bakery scent. This was the one that appealed to me the most. So we'll give it a shot. Where are you? There you are. So notes on this one: Artemisia, bergamot. The heart note here is listed as pink. Only one heart note on his website. Pink. Whatever the hell that is. And then it goes into a whole bunch of stuff in the base, the usual stuff, the oud, some other woods, some patchouli, a few resins. In the first two, really not too much of that really showed through. Very, very weak. And he also uses that pastry accord, which is not listed there, but he talks about in some of his other literature on the line. So, oh, well. When I first took a whiff of this, the first thing I smelled, and I could smell it when I first sprayed it on, was a blast of fruitiness. And I wasn't happy about that, because that's not what I want out of this. But upon taking a second and third sniff, this is beginning to smell like a bakery. It's very scrumptious. I like this the more I smell it. It's definitely got a very rich gourmand smell to it. It smells like you just walked into an Italian bakery and they're making pastries and cannolis and all that stuff that you would find there. And a little bit of a hint of some dark woods in the background. I like it. This one is definitely different than the other two. It's a little darker, much less fruity and sugary sweet. I like this one the most, if you can't tell. it lives up to its name for sure. So that's that. Honestly, it's about what I was expecting from the three of them. I wasn't really anticipating that any of these three I was going to fall in love with at first sniff, but that they were good enough that they were worthy of wearing every now and then. Now, as far as pricing goes, that's where it takes a turn a little bit. I know these aren't formally available in the US yet, but I believe the pricing is going to be in the ballpark of $550 for a 50 milliliter bottle, which for these type of juices, I'm not really sure that that's really pushing it. The only one of the three that I would absolutely consider, at least for me personally, would be the Sweetie Oud at that price. Just going on the types of notes that are in there, there isn't a whole lot that screams exclusivity and that screams worthy of high price. I mean, yes, they're very well made. The quality of the ingredients is remarkable, and it's apparent through smelling it. But these aren't exactly the exotic ingredients outside of the oud. And you can buy some of his oud juices for cheaper than this. So I wonder, I have to question the exorbitantly high pricing. I mean, you can get a bottle of his UAE oud for less than this, and the types of ingredients that he uses in there, much more oud, various types of roses, Taif rose, which is difficult to find and source. It costs less than this, so I don't know. When will it be available? I've heard it should be pretty soon. Mid-June is when I had been told that it would be released in the U.S. The stockists of his lines in the U.S. should all be carrying them. And you can go through his website or abroad if you can find somebody who will ship to the U.S. I think if you put the price aside, I think there's something in this line for everybody. If you're a fan of the darker scents, the Sweetie Oud would be something you might want to try out. If you like the fruits, if you like lighter scents, then Fruity Oud or Candy would be a good one for you. I do think he did a good job of taking something like oud that is overdone, just saturated the market, and finding a way to use it that really hadn't been done before. So props to him for that. It's something difficult to do, to find a way that oud hasn't been used yet. But prices are, even for him, this one's pushing it. Whether it's really, really worth that price tag. So we'll see. I think I think they're good, but remains to be seen how good. So that is that. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know. Perhaps a split of, really the only one I would consider splitting is Sweetie. The other two, I can't foresee myself liking them that much or recommending them to anyone else, unless you're a big fan of that kind of thing. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you later.